Hi friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Max, and of course today we'll be playing Animal Crossing, and I'm going to be decorating around my campsite today. The campsite is actually the last kind of main area of my island for me to decorate, because I've done the shops, the museum, I suppose I haven't done my house yet, but that's probably going to be coming later because I'm going to be doing villager houses first. So yeah, I was really excited to do this speed build, and I ended up making it quite a large area, which I really like, because I remember on my old island I had it in quite a small area and it looked kind of squashed, and I didn't like that. So yeah. The inspiration for these path borders around the campsite comes from one of the lovely members of the Kidcore Discord that I'm part of. So thank you, Rach, for the inspiration. I saw you do this and I was like, oh my god, I have to do it for my campsite as well. And I just think it gives a nice little bit of something. Don't remember me, I woke up about an hour ago, so I'm still groggy from sleep. But yeah, I decided to dedicate this kind of second tier and third tier levels for the campsite, because I wanted to do kind of like a seating area, and then an area with the campsite, and also like a campfire and places to do cooking and stuff. So I went a bit ham with how big I made it, but I really like how it turned out. And of course I'm laying down the path, and I'm kind of extending it to the side here so that it gives like an area for my seating area to go. I also planted some bushes by my campsite, because I realised I haven't really used bushes that much on my island so far. So the only place I've really used them is by my museum. So my campsite is kind of at the back of my island, as you can see. If you guys remember where I did Kid Cat's house, off camera I extended the cliffs to kind of connect to the cliffs at the back, so that it would kind of lead on from there. And I'm going to be making the path and stuff so that it kind of flows nicely. Because I wanted quite a big space for my campsite, I knew that I should probably put it in an area that I haven't really touched, and I thought this area by Kid Cat's house would be perfect. And don't worry, I will be releasing some videos about villager houses soon as well. I kind of took a break from filming villager houses. I'm not entirely sure why, I just wasn't really inspired by them, but I have filmed a video terraforming Fuchsia's house, so please look forward to that, because I'm really happy with how it turned out, so I'm excited for you guys to see. I also did want to mention here, I did say on my Twitter, but I know that some people might not follow my Twitter or something like that, but I was uploading twice a week, but that was because I hadn't started university yet. And now that I've started university, I don't really have a lot of time to film videos, and also I film when motivation hits me, because I don't want to film something and then not be happy with it, because that wouldn't make me happy, and I don't think it would make you guys happy either, because I feel like they always turn out best when I'm inspired by them. So I have decided to cut down to just one video a week, so I will upload at 4 PM every Tuesday, so please look forward to Tuesdays, 4 PM British Standard Time, I should say. I decided to upload in the afternoon because I know a lot of my American friends like to watch my videos, and I never want to upload in the morning so that they miss my video going live. So yeah, lots of friends on the Discord always say, "Oh my god, a Max video," and it fills me with so much joy. So thank you guys. So yeah, I kind of made this area kind of like maybe an entrance area or like a waiting area. I haven't actually been camping in years, and I don't know what it's like in other countries, but I can imagine that sometimes there would be like a little waiting area for you to go into the campsite, and I just thought it would be a cute idea to make, you know, like with the snack and drink machines and the little table off to the side, and then with the ramp going up to the campsite itself. I know that's not actually how it works in-game, but who cares? Oh, I should probably mention as well, you guys probably will have noticed that I changed my look a bit. So now my character doesn't match my YouTube icon, but I hope that doesn't bother you guys too much. I just wanted a bit of a change. I think everyone does every now and then, so I hope that's okay with you guys. Actually, in real life, pink is the colour that I've had my hair the most. I did have rainbow hair for a little while this year, and thanks to my wife for helping me dye my hair all the time, not just that time. And it made me really happy, but I decided to dye my hair brown again because it was in the middle of lockdown and no one was seeing it except for me. And I know that sounds really silly because, you know, you need to do things for yourself, right? Things that make you happy. But, like, I wasn't getting dressed up because I wasn't really going anywhere. I was spending most of my time in my pyjamas. So I just, you know, I felt it was kind of pointless, and it's such a big hassle and upkeep to manage coloured hair, especially rainbow hair, and I didn't want to bother with all that if I wasn't going to be serving the looks that I wanted to. So now I have boring brown hair, but at least my Animal Crossing character can look cute. When I was about 16, I convinced my mum to let me dye my hair pink for the first time, and it was like the best feeling ever. because I went through a bit of a scene phase. We don't mention it, except I just did, so I guess we do mention it now. And I wanted the big pink scene hair, and I kind of achieved it. I say kind of because I was never allowed to get, you know, the haircut, but I definitely had the side swoop. I just wasn't allowed to use copious amounts of hairspray and whatnot to make it look like a proper scene kid hairstyle. But yeah, so I've had pink hair for a lot of my life. And I will probably dye my hair a fun colour again once the world kind of goes back to normal and we can go outside again, because obviously at the moment I'm doing uni online, so I don't really need to, you know, I mean, I don't even wear trousers most of the time when I'm sat at my desk, spoiler, when I'm on my Zoom meetings with my tutors and whatnot. So you guys know what I mean. I rambled on about my hair for like 10 minutes, I'm sorry. So I just thought this area would be cute to have as like a little activity area. So there's an unfinished puzzle that I customised to have, you know, the jigsaw pattern, and also a board game. I know that only one person ever stays at the campsite, but I like it. It's nice to imagine that, you know, there are a couple people there and you can play board games or like do a puzzle together. So yeah. Speaking of puzzles, recently I went over to see my great gran-in-law, and we love to do puzzles together. So seeing the puzzle in Animal Crossing always reminds me of her as well, because that's what we always do when we go over there. So and of course, a little spooky tower, because it is Halloween season after all, and who would I be if I didn't put at least something pumpkin-y there. I only recently downloaded this cute, colourful flower code, but I found myself using it like everywhere. It's so cute. And I know that it is actually a path, so the creator made it, you know, like the path, but just with loads of cute, colourful flowers. But obviously I have my like dirt path that I've been using, so I just downloaded the middle section, and it works really well like on its own. I've just been using it everywhere on my island. It's so cute and I love it. Kind of on the topic of campsites, I have only ever invited someone who has randomly shown up on my campsite to live on my island once, and that was on my old island, and it was Bob. I saw him as soon as I walked into the tent, and I was like, oh no, I have to. And I think at this point I did have about 3 lazies on my island already. Oh, come on, it was Bob. It was meant to be. I already had Stitches at that point as well, so and their houses are really similar, but I still got him to move in, so it was all good. Of course, it wouldn't be Kidcore without doing a playground. So here I am putting down some stone pathing so that I can make a playground. I just thought it would be a cute little touch. So I've got some like tire toys and an elephant slide, and it's cute and tiny, but I like how it turned out. These soft serve lamps are such a good item. I have so many of them because I just ordered them from Nooks shopping just so many times. I don't know, I just love how rainbow and cute they look. See? Tiny playground. I think with campsites, I've seen so many cute cottagecore campsites, just because I think the idea of a campsite really lends itself well to the idea of cottagecore, and so I tried really hard to make everything as bright and colourful as I could so that it didn't kind of lean towards cottagecore too much, and I think I did well. I think just as long as you use lots of bright colours, I think it shouldn't be too difficult to make something Kidcore. And it's all about like the custom designs that you use as well. So, like I mentioned earlier, the like colourful flowers that I use everywhere is just so much fun and really brings everything on my island together. So I'm doing like a little cooking station here with a frying pan and a campfire cookware, and I really like, I don't know, I can just imagine like going to cook something on that little fire and then sitting around the big fire and eating it just out of the pan. I used to go camping quite a lot actually as a kid, so kind of building this made me kind of nostalgic for those times because I actually really enjoyed it. I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much now because I don't think I could go anywhere without a shower, because I like to be clean. But when you're a kid, you're not really so fussed with that stuff. You just kind of get dirty and you don't care. But yeah. I did consider adding a separate villager onto my island just to have like their tent by the campsite so that it kind of looked like there was more than one person who could stay at the campsite. But I ended up scrapping that idea. But here we go guys, that is the finished product. I've time travelled a couple of days ahead so that all of my bushes have grown in, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Let me know in the comments what you like about it, or what you would change, or you know, how you did your campsite. I'd love to know. And I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. I hope that you stay safe, that you're kind to yourselves, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!